How is it going, everybody? This is Sean Barnes. I want to welcome you to episode 51 of The Way of the Wolf. On the show last week, I discussed some of the lessons that I've learned through 2021. And as I've reflected back over this past week, I realized there was a lot of stuff that I didn't really cover. That episode was focused just on lessons learned. And since we're coming into this year-end review, I figured I would take this opportunity to share some other thoughts and some other experiences that I've had along the way. I'll touch on the business aspect of it first. As many of you know, I spent the majority of my career leading IT, and about 4 or 5 years ago, had the opportunity to step in and also start leading the human resources team. In doing so, I realized I have a passion in leadership development. So it's been quite an exciting and interesting and challenging journey over the past 4 years, kind of delving into that realm. Now, some of you may also know that earlier this year, I had the opportunity to step in and start leading safety and transportation as well. Admittedly, I was hesitant. I wasn't sure if I was the right guy because I don't have a background. I have some ideas and some thoughts around the best way to keep employees safe, but it's definitely not a strength of mine. So stepped in, we started building a very strong team, kind of moving a few people around, restructuring the team in a way that makes more sense, and it's been going really well. Obviously, there's hiccups and bumps in the road, but that's okay. That's all part of the process. About 6 months ago, I also had the opportunity to start an ESG group, which was challenging in a different sense. Challenging in that ESG as a functional domain is kind of in its infancy. And as I've met with peers in the industry and at other businesses, I've come to realize that while there's a lot of standards out there, nobody really knows what they're doing, or very few people really have a long-term strategic direction or plan or vision for what they want to do with ESG. So that's kind of been a learning experience that's also very exciting. This year was a big year for me personally in terms of coming out of my shell. Very much a year of growth for me. I've shared on numerous occasions that I am an introvert at heart. Getting behind a camera, getting behind a microphone, those are not things that come easy to me. If I'm being honest, I was still nervous before firing all the equipment up today. But I keep pushing forward because I want to be better. And I know I can be better. Like all of you listeners, I know that all of you can be better as well. So the purpose of this show is to share thoughts and feedback and experiences and ideas and bring guests on that can come share their experiences, what worked and what didn't work for them. So we're going to see a lot more of that in 2022. And here in a little bit, I'm going to dive into some minor adjustments that we're going to make to the structure of the show in 2022, but all good stuff. I'm really pumped and excited about it. Another big thing for me personally has been the coaching that I have been doing, the executive coaching and working with people at my current employer and then other companies. People will actually hear the podcast or see some of the content I post online and reach out to me, and we start to establish a relationship where we can work together. That has been so fulfilling for me. I love the fact that people are investing in themselves. They want to learn, they want to grow, they want to be better. So I feel honored to be able to have those conversations and be a part of that journey with them. Which kind of brings me to my next point, which is the people you surround yourself with. This is a big one. This is so huge. For any of you that are struggling, I would encourage you to take an inventory of those people around you, the people that you spend the most time with. We've all heard the phrase, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I have learned this year that that is an absolute reality. That is definitely the case. I was so nervous and unsure starting this journey of starting this podcast and this YouTube channel. All those doubts that come in. What if I suck? What if I fail? Oh my God, it will be so embarrassing that oh my God. If I put myself out there in this hyper vulnerable state and people make fun of me, what if? And that's a battle that I've had this past year. But what I came to realize is the people that I surround myself with, the guests that have come on the show, long time friends of mine who have reached out and shared feedback with me. I've had some people that say, you're doing awesome, you're crushing it, keep doing it, which is very much appreciated. And I've had other people along the way that say, oh, yeah, audio kind of sucked on that. You need to figure that out. That brutal honesty is something that I truly appreciate. Some people can struggle with brutal honesty. For me, I want to be better. So however they deliver it, if the way they deliver it sucks, I really don't care. It's getting that feedback that's important to me, because it helps me better understand what I need to do to be better. So start surrounding yourself with excellence. Surround yourself with people that are going to push you and drive you to be as successful as possible. Okay, I'm going to transition this a little bit. Since this is a year in review, I'm going to share some of the books that I read through this year. I have to start off with Extreme Ownership from Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. Now, I've actually read through this twice. I got this back in 2017. I went to a muster event in San Diego and actually had Jocko sign this, so super pumped about that. The book overall just talks about the importance of owning everything around you. The title does come across as a bit abrasive and harsh. There's a lot of good lessons to be learned in that book. Special mention to listen to it on audiobook if you have the opportunity. Jocko and Leif both read through all of the chapters. They layer in some sound effects, and it's actually quite enjoyable in that format. Another one that I talk about from time to time is Multipliers by Liz Wiseman. Whenever you step into a leadership role, your objective transitions from an individual contributor to that of a force multiplier. And this book does an incredible job of explaining how that process works or should work, and what to do and what not to do. And then Crucial Conversations. This is another really good book that helped me. When you're in the HR function, you spend a lot of time dealing with employee relations issues. Nobody calls you when things are good or great. Your phone only rings when there's a problem. You need tools to be able to successfully navigate through those challenges. And this book talks through tips and tricks and helps you better understand how to read people and how to navigate through a challenging conversation so that ultimately both parties are able to walk away with a sense of completion or fulfillment, or just feeling like that was a productive conversation instead of it just blowing up and then everybody getting frustrated. Now I have a few other shorter books here. These are all books from people that I personally know. Let's see, I'm going to list these in order that I read them. So First, Side Hustle Millionaire from Tony Whatley. This is a quick read, and Tony built a few side businesses over the years and was able to make a very comfortable living in doing so. He's been on the show, been on the podcast before, but the book basically teaches you all the basic elements and principles that you need to be able to successfully build that side hustle while you have your full-time career. So another book that I had the opportunity to read is Forged from Nothing from Josiah Plumley. So Josiah actually works at TF Supplements, where I get all of my nutrition supplements. And the book, you can see I've got a whole bunch of notes in here and stickies and stuff like that. So I'm going to have Josiah come on the show at some point, but the book basically talks about how to live a healthy lifestyle and eat healthy on a budget. That's usually an excuse that I hear from people when they're struggling with eating healthy. Well, I can't afford to eat healthy. I can't afford to eat healthy. This book tells you exactly what you need to know and what you need to do to be able to eat healthy on a budget. And then last but not least, mindset over motivation. So this was written by a friend of mine, Philip Sessions. Actually got a signed copy of it, and really talks through the importance of focusing on your mindset instead of relying on motivation. Motivation can be fleeting. We're not always pumped. We're not always excited to do the things that we need to do. But if you have the right mindset, you can push through those challenging times and do what needs to be done. Okay, so for 2022, I'm starting to get more comfortable with all of the audio and video equipment that we have. And we're going to start off the year with a few people coming on the show individually at first. They're going to come on the show and talk about the things that are important whenever you start a new year. And I'm talking about New Year's resolutions. Many times, a lot of people set that New Year's resolution. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to live a healthier lifestyle. So the next few guests that are going to be coming on the show, we're going to be talking about nutrition. We're going to be talking about fitness. We're going to be talking about wellness. All of these things are very crucial whenever you embark on that journey of living a healthy lifestyle. And I'm very intentional whenever I say lifestyle because that's what it is. It's not a diet. It's not just a workout routine that you do for a little while. It's about living a healthy lifestyle. Another thing that we're going to start doing is having multiple guests on the show. I'm kind of envisioning having an overall theme for an episode where we have maybe somebody who owns a gym, maybe somebody who owns a nutrition store, maybe somebody who is a nutritionist coming on and then sharing ideas and talking through a holistic approach to living a healthy lifestyle. But then we'll also have some episodes probably on computers, some on cars, all sorts of different topics. So this one's running a little bit long, but I want to take a moment to thank. There's a lot of people I need to thank, quite frankly. I want to thank all of my friends that have supported me on this journey. It has been challenging, but all of y'all's feedback and trust and guidance through this process has been instrumental in moving things forward and inspiring me to keep going. I want to thank all the guests that have come on the show over the past year, taking time out of their day to come on a completely unknown podcast and share their wisdom. Man, I can't thank all of you enough. And I'm looking forward to having more and more guests come on the show in the future. And I think finally, and most importantly, I want to thank all the listeners. All 100 of you. No, I'm joking. I don't know how many there are. The show has been doing pretty good in terms of downloads and views on YouTube. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. If I can walk away and positively impact or influence one person's life, then all of this was worthwhile for me. So for all of you that have shared feedback and left reviews, shared the content on social media, all of those things, I cannot share, or I cannot express how much I appreciate all of you and all of your support. With that being said, I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.